Taste the rainbow. But how? Did you know we consume 70 billion Skittles every year? As one of the world's most beloved non-chocolate candies, Skittles have become a global phenomenon. But have you ever wondered how these tiny, colorful treats are made? Despite their massive success, the original creator of Skittles remains a mystery. What we do know is that they first appeared in England in the 1970s, before being acquired by Mars Inc. in 1974 as a fruity alternative to M&M's. The candy quickly won over the British public, and by 1979, Mars introduced them to the United States. The transition across the Atlantic came with one change in the UK. The purple Skittle is flavored with blackcurrant, while in the US it was swapped for the more familiar grape. But here's a question that has divided candy lovers. Do all Skittles taste the same? A viral claim by food scientists suggested that it's just the fragrance of the shell tricking our brains. Let's dive inside the Mars Wrigley Factory to uncover the truth behind Skittles. The journey of every Skittle begins in large mixing vats, where the core ingredients are combined: sugar, corn syrup, hydrogenated palm kernel oil, which turns liquid oil into a solid at room temperature. Each flavor is made separately, debunking the myth that all Skittles taste the same. Secret fruit juices, citric acid, and natural flavors are added to create a distinct taste for each color. Once mixed, the candy paste is heated into a thick, sticky batter, similar to cake batter but much denser. This mixture is then poured into tiny molds, where it's pressed and cooled to form chewy, toffee-like pellets known as lentils, due to their shape. Once the Skittles cores are formed, they head to a fascinating 6-hour process called panning, where they receive their signature hard candy shell. How does panning work? Each batch of flavored lentils is placed into a large, rotating metal drum known as a draggy pan. Similar machines are used to coat M&M's, jelly beans, and other sugar-coated candies. What happens inside the pan? The lentils tumble continuously while being coated with thin layers of colored syrup. Each Skittle receives 43 layers of hard candy, applied microns at a time to ensure a smooth shell. Temperature, humidity, and syrup consistency are strictly monitored to prevent Skittles from melting or clumping together. Occasionally, blasts of cool air are introduced to separate and prevent sticking. The result? A perfectly crunchy outer shell. After the final layer dries, Skittles get their famous glossy finish. Originally, Mars used shellac, a resin from the lac bug, to create the shine. However, in 2009, they switched to a vegetarian-friendly wax polish, making Skittles 100% bug-free. Now that they shine like tiny edible jewels, it's time for blending. Before packaging, all 5 flavors, strawberry, orange, lemon, lime, and grape, or blackcurrant in the UK, must be evenly distributed. Skittles are funneled into a massive blending belt, where different color hoppers feed controlled amounts of each flavor to create the perfect mix. Some conspiracy theorists claim that bags always contain more yellow Skittles, the least favorite flavor. But Mars insists that blending is evenly done, though it's not always a perfect science. Now, the finishing touch, the white S stamp. A special roller system prints thousands of Skittles at once using edible, insoluble ink. However, this process is highly delicate. The ink must be thick enough to transfer clearly, but thin enough to prevent smudging. The roller must apply just the right pressure to print without cracking the shell. This is why many hard-shell candies don't feature printed branding. It's incredibly tricky to perfect. Once the Skittles are stamped and polished, they move on to packaging. How the packaging process works. Giant rolls of plastic film feed into a packaging machine. The machine heat seals the sides, forming long tubes. It then cuts, fills, and seals each pouch with precision-measured portions of Skittles. The finished bags are transported via conveyor belts, packed into boxes, and sent out for global distribution. With this ultra-efficient process, The Mars Wrigley Factory produces 200 million Skittles per day. Taste the Rainbow, a legacy that lasts. If Taste the Rainbow sounds familiar, that's because it's one of the longest-running advertising campaigns ever, first introduced in 1994. For decades, Skittles have remained an iconic part of pop culture, appearing in commercials, memes, and viral challenges. But now, the next time you open a bag, you'll know exactly how each colorful piece is made.